Heyo everybody, Haku here with my read through for Soloist in a Cage chapters 15, 16, and 17. And yeah, I'm sorry that these last two videos weren't up like immediately. I was planning to just finish out this series really quick. But then I came down with the illness that shall not be named because I don't want YouTube to go after this video for me saying that word. So yeah, I'm sorry, I got sick, I had to take a couple weeks off, and then when I got back into things, I had other projects that I really was busy with and needed to finish up. So sorry I'm late with this. We're going to be doing these 3 chapters, and then I don't know exactly when the last 3 chapters will be. Hopefully it won't be that long of a wait though. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead, finish out the series. I've been reading it, I've been enjoying it, but I also wanted to say before I started, massive shout out, massive thank you to Vietnam. Shout out Vietnam. Like, so like 53% of the views on these, and there are like thousands of views on these, are coming from Vietnam, and I'm like, wow, shout out to you. But also, it makes me so curious, it makes me so interested. So if any of you, watching from Vietnam, if any of you can tell me, is it a case of YouTube's algorithm being weird and you're like, man, I just can't go on YouTube without YouTube recommending videos of this guy reading Soloist in a Cage? Or is Soloist in a Cage just really popular in Vietnam, which would be so interesting to me? That it's like, oh yeah, this manga is just really popular specifically here. That would be so interesting. That'd be so interesting to me. Because it's like a situation where I've been reading this, I've been enjoying this, but I haven't seen anybody else discussing it really outside of this. I haven't seen anybody else talking about it, which is interesting. It's so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate you for watching, all of you. And I guess before we get started, as usual, I read the series from the beginning, from chapter 1 here on the channel, so if you're just coming in this video, maybe go watch those other ones. But also just a reminder, I can't show the actual manga on screen as I'm reading because it's published by Shueisha, and yeah, that's a big no-no. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead, start reading with chapter 15. I feel like again, it's been a couple weeks since I last read the last 3 chapters, but I feel like we're kind of moving into the climax here. So I guess let's see what happens in our last 6 chapters. Alright. Okay, we're starting off with somebody carrying some machinery. Those brats are silently plodding along with their work as always. An admirable sight to see. When we get out of here, I might just buy him a chocolate or 2. But it's impressive that those kids managed to construct this whole thing. And it's like a Zeppelin. It looks, TBH, it looks kind of small from this angle to like hold that many people. We have chapter 15. The art is just, that's one thing that I've said constantly throughout this read through though. I love the style of Soloist in a Cage. This art is just so gorgeous to me. I just love this style. Actually, by the looks of it, is this thing finished already? Looks like we could fly off in it any minute. Leo already said, remember. Also, wouldn't the prison have like something to shoot that down with, you'd think? It'll be finished in 1 month from now. Whatever. Don't forget that we always have our eyes on you kids. So, you better not get any funny ideas. Alright, and we have an energy test in process, it says. Alright. Capable of flight. And he smiles but then tries to hide it. And we see the girl from last time. Gives a signal to her. Bathroom break. And she starts crying. Mr. Yoshiki, we did it. We've worked so hard. Now we have Leo and Chloe at his grave. Alright. Tomorrow's the big day. Yeah. I'm sure it'll come true. The wish you had for Father. We're going to succeed tomorrow. We're all getting out of here together. Yeah. When you get out, will you really search for your family? I'm not sure. I don't really have any intention of looking for them. Oh, I only have one father after all, and everyone from the factory is my family. You're right. That includes you as well. That's why. I want you, Chloe, to ride the airship along with us. Yeah, again, I love this art. Sorry, I know you must be worried about your little brother. I'm daring to ask you, even knowing what your situation is, since it's how I really feel. Tomorrow, I want you to wait for me, along with everyone else. And now we see the building again. With our faith in the Lord, this long ordeal is finally coming to an end. All of you, you've waited patiently and faithfully, believed in me until this day. Alright? Or faithfully believed in me until this day. Knowing that so many people will be rewarded makes me truly happy. Oh, His Holiness is crying. What kind and beautiful tears. Your Holiness, Your Holiness. This is kind of creepy. What the heck are they going on about? We're outsiders. It's hard to understand what these groupies are talking about. But seems like God's Ark is finished, and we'll get to take a ride on it soon or something. Yeah, again, how can it hold this many people? Can't say if that's true or not, but apparently the Ark's designer is a kid. Keith here, currently in the underground path heading to the area just below the church. Just as expected, the factory is being guarded lightly, with only two devotees on the lookout. Again, this whole thing has made the actual prison staff seem so useless. Like, how do they not have this under control? But maybe there's a reason. Maybe the prison staff will be the actual big bad main villains, like when they're trying to escape. But yeah, they just seem really, really impotent. At this rate, all of us will be able to sneak onto the airship without getting caught. Otherwise, I only have one concern. Sebastian isn't here. He ran off saying something about bringing some new friends back with him. Oh, the people from the start. Oh, but Gina went along with him. There's nothing to worry about. My bad. I didn't mean to cause you any unnecessary worry. Gina's reliable, so there's not going to be a problem. Aha. The afternoon sermon by the Pope will now come to an end. Up next is the holy dancing ritual. My, this year's been a greater success than ever before. Especially since it's my last sermon. The crowd's excitement was on another level. Oh, yes. Let's have you give a speech as well, Leo. Huh? If the Ark designer makes a surprise appearance, the crowd will go even more wild. You have about 1 hour until the dance is over. That's more than enough time to think about the content of your speech, isn't it? I don't know. I think you're aware of this, but my word is absolute. I'm counting on you. Gosh, this is so interesting. And then we have this full page of the dancers. It's so weird and interesting. This weird cult-like culture is, again, not what I would have thought from the series whatsoever at the start. I don't know, I feel like the mangaka just went a really interesting direction with all this. I mean, again, like I've said before, I don't think it's the direction that I would have loved the most, but it is just a really interesting direction. Damn it, man. I wish I could have gone to the church too. Check her out. What a bod on that chick. This is about the only event when we get a chance to meet girls that age. Ah, what a waste. What are you saying? We're getting out of here soon. We can have as many women like that as we want. And then they hear something and turn back to see Leo. Leo, Keith. Wait, what about Sebastian and Gina? Oh yeah, those two are just fine. Seems they'll make it to the meeting point somehow. That's a relief. We should hurry up too. Everyone's already waiting for us at the midway point. I'll catch you, so jump down from here. Oh, is he gonna say that he's going to stay behind? The Pope asked me to speak. In 1 hour I'll have to give a speech in front of all his devotees. Huh? If I'm not there when it's time for me to speak, it'll be a big problem. Our plan will be ruined. Wait, 1 hour, right? You still have enough time. If we head there right away, we'll have enough time to take off. And then he sees that Leo's hesitating. Don't hesitate. This only means that our time limits change to when your speech is supposed to start. We haven't failed or anything. Failure would be when the sermon event is over and all the devotees flood into the factory. It's going to be okay. We can still make it, so jump down here. I should just do my speech. If I stay here, we can avoid taking that risk. Leo, he has the ability to envisage all possible cases for one situation. However, it's also a sign of cowardice. Focusing too much on the risk, he loses the courage necessary to take the next step. Keith, when that time comes, you'll have to be the one to pull out the real Leo. You have the strength to shoulder the responsibility of Leo's weaknesses, Keith. The strength to support Leo. Now, under these circumstances, I don't understand what to do. I'm not clever. I can't persuade Leo with my brains. Instead, Leo, when you can't make up your own mind, remember what the old man said. If it were old man Yoshiki, then what would he be telling you in this kind of situation? Try and think about it. Man, I just keep getting chills at this scene. Father, Leo, these acts of yours, which could be taken as kindness, and we see his arm, bound, come from your fear of loss. A day will come when you feel that same fear has become a risk. When that happens, don't run from it. Stand and face that risk without trying to avoid it. There are times when that's the best answer. So, what's the best answer for us? That every single one of us gets on the airship, right? Yeah, then that's what we gotta do. We've gotta stick to the plan and go meet up with everyone. Think only when and if the worst case scenario happens. You have it in you to guide us to the best possible answer if the worst case does happen, right? And then we see him in the cart. We'll start the engine as soon as we get there. Don't worry, I won't let the devotees get in our way. And he pulls a pistol. Hey, I'm just gonna scare him. I won't shoot. Don't get freaked out. It's not that. I was just thinking that you're really amazing, Keith. Or that you really are amazing, Keith. What do you mean? I may have written the blueprint, but I'm not on the scene like you. I just got a strong impression of your on-site capabilities. You're on a whole nother level. I'm feeling calm now, thanks to you. That's so. The strength to take responsibility. Is that what the old man meant? Look, and everyone's waiting for them. Hey, everybody. Phew, you snuck out safely. Yeah. We have Chloe waiting. Oof. Now it's time for the real deal. We still have to wait until your speech. Let's get everything prepared so we can take off as soon as Sebastian and the others arrive. Yeah. And then they see the TV still. They're not here. And then they all climb out. And Chloe senses something. She smells something. And then Leo looks over as well. And we see the guy from before killed. Sup? I hear the ship's finished. Ah, these guys. And they have a bunch of the cultists with them. You're gonna let us on, right? All of us here? We're busted. We can't. The ship wasn't built big enough to carry this many people on board. You're kidding me. I wait 10 years and this is the answer I get. Guess I had the wool pulled over my eyes from the very beginning. And he just leans back and lights a cigarette. I only made it exactly as I was told. I hope you can understand that. After being deceived by the Pope, the kids I've been looking after betray me as well. What are we? Are we nothing but a conveniently placed mob you might find in a story? Inquisitors, kill every child here except Leo. And then they all look shocked. 1 kill each. That'll open up some seats for us. And then you are way heavier than these kids, so that the math does not math. Stop. Delta. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'll build another airship. I'll make it properly so everyone can get on. Please just stop. That's enough. This is the hour of reckoning. Good, bad, adult or child, it doesn't matter. That old man Yoshiki would have been aware it would come to this, which is exactly why he taught all you kids how to survive. So you just gotta accept it, you see? And then he slumps down. Except that this is Prison City, where logic doesn't apply. Same goes for my logic. Huh? And then he looks back. That wasn't a child's scream just now. In short, even what I'm saying now is meaningless here. Okay, so is this his plan? Is Delta using Chloe because we know he's seen what Chloe can do before? And he worked out that the Pope was betraying him. So is he using Chloe to kill the devotees And is he going to try to bargain his own escape by, like, taking out these numbers? This is interesting. And then Leo sees Chloe. Man, the art is so good. Chloe? I'm sorry. And then she kills them all. What a double page spread. Insanity. And Delta's just watching on. The little lady's appearance. Everything's going just as I expected. And then she walks up to him. Now we step into the unknown. All I can see is death for one of us. The debate with Sword and Fist, or maybe he did just want to have a fight with her, because he's had this obsession with her for a few chapters. The debate with Sword and Fist will determine the one whose logic prevails. Yeah, interesting. I guess maybe there is a chance it's just because of his obsession with her. Either way, I guess that was a really good chapter. That's one of the best chapters in the series so far, for like so many different reasons. So many of these scenes were incredible. But I guess let's move on to chapter 16. Okay, we're on to chapter 16, and honestly, we only have 5 chapters left, but there's still so many obstacles left to get through for this series to end. Like, there's still so many things that, like, they need to get through. But we're starting off with the same showdown we had at the end of last chapter, of course. All the kids reacting to everything going on. And of course, Sebastian and Sebastian, Gina, and the characters from the beginning aren't there yet. I can tell from her eyes. We're two of a kind. Raised to listen carefully and keep our eyes peeled in the darkness. In order to survive this city, you've got to sharpen your 5 senses more than the average Joe. There's no doubt. The little miss is no different from us. She's a citizen of Prison City. Well, leans more toward my kind. Unlike you, Pipsqueaks, she grew up in a far darker place. And will be that much harder to kill, he thinks. This is impressive. Killing like this, they've probably died without feeling a thing. It's far too splendid. It even feels like it's consideration for the ones she kills. Consideration? What's that like? Having an attachment to every last bugger you knock off? We may be birds of a feather, but I can't really sympathize. I'll tell you right now, I won't be a part of that. And we see all of the souls of the dead behind her, essentially. You're also way over capacity already. And then he attacks, and she blocks it. I can hardly stand to look at you. And she's blocked. Watch it there. And he goes for another attack. And he keeps charging forward as she continues to block and move, closing the gap while staying on the attack. She's what you'd call a counter-fighter. In other words, counterattacks are her specialty. Then all I gotta do is keep messing up her flow and fighting range. And we see a tear open up in his sleeve. And she again almost scrapes his chest. Even if I know what I gotta do, she still manages to sneak into her fighting range. Well, of course she would. Once you step into my ring, you know what the consequences are, don't ya? And he starts again attacking with a volley. And it seems like he's just towering over her. No matter how skilled you may be, little miss, I'll push through with a force that surpasses yours. You can't keep taking these hits forever, can you? Especially, and he slams down. Not one like this. You doing okay? You seem a little out of breath. And then she's still continuing to try to block. I'll take that finger, and then he's cut off by her grabbing the knife and bringing it in towards him and almost hitting his throat. God, the art is just so good. And he kicks away at her arm. Ah, behind me. Oh no, I've got to get further away. He steps onto her foot. You really are something else. Again, and the effects they use for, like, the souls of the people they've each killed swirling around them as this fight's going on. He manages to land a punch and breaks her arm. We see everyone reacting, including a close-up of Leo. From her upper arm all the way to her ribs, broken to pieces, I bet, after that blow. Oh yeah, that's true, her ribs were broken too. The fight'll be over, and then cut off again. And the surprise, what is this random comedy? The surprise face on the mask of the guy, the bird mask. Oh man. He looks shocked that he got stabbed as well, in the chest. Chloe's bleeding from the nose. Putting your life on the line for a counterblow, huh? What the hell's wrong with you? You don't mind destroying both your body and mind? How? How are you so strong? And then we see Leo watching on. She looks back at him. Well, doesn't make any sense anyhow. Oh? Then we have a bang, and everyone reacts to it. A gunshot, and Chloe shot through the side. And the Pope has shown up. Nice work. Now all the puzzle pieces come together for the climax. Again, everyone's together. Okay, so everyone's together. And I feel like we've got to be leading to either... I don't know if Chloe's going to die or not by the end of this, but I feel like we're either leading toward the Delta heroic sacrifice, or not really even heroic, but the sacrifice of, I feel like almost a Full Metal Alchemist Kimberly type move, where it's like, I was a bad guy, but you, the bigger bad guy, betrayed me, so I'm gonna, out of my own like will and pettiness, take that out on you by helping the good guys. Or or he could escape with the kids, like especially if Chloe dies, he could escape with the kids and just like end up like taking care of them or getting his redemption that way. I feel like that's where we're going with this. Interesting though, because now it's basically turned into a three-way dance essentially. And also I don't think we see, we don't see Gina and Sebastian yet. So they're still going to play a role somewhere too, because if they weren't going to play some kind of role, like we would have seen, A, we would have seen them, B, we wouldn't have got hints about them. Alright, I'm going to move on now to the next chapter though. Alright, starting with chapter 17, let's see what we get. Alright, Evil Calamity coming this way, chapter 17. And Chloe collapses forward into Delta. Why? Why the fuck are you here? Why am I here? I wonder why. You were supposed to have deceived me, and yet here I am. And then Leo's crying for Chloe. Oh, I got it. It must be because I'm God. Yeah, that's right. And that's why I could see through everything. I knew that you children went into the playground and got your hands on ultonium, and that Delta didn't report this to me on purpose. I know it all because I'm God. Wait, hang on now. You're saying those kids killed an Inquisitor and took the ultonium? Isn't that a bit far-fetched? I know, it must have been that girl from back then. She came all the way to my district of her own volition. It has to be her. This could be trouble. She's a force to be reckoned with. Then, why don't you get Delta to take her out? Yeah, nice one. He's a dummy, but a strong dummy. If those two go head-to-head, then one of them will die. Plus, the one left alive probably would be mortally wounded. In that case, even a weakling like me could win. See? Amazing. Everything has happened exactly as I predicted. So, the Pope really is God after all. Now I can just escape along with the children. No, that's not right. The Inquisitors are still alive after all. I have to make it exactly as the story I created. And then we have the cultists shooting the Inquisitors. And then Keith and Leo hit the ground. Geez, so they both might actually be dead. None mighta. And it's a Buddhist prayer as he pulls out a cross. We have Leo freaking out. Leo? Leo? And he looks up. It's safe now. I've freed you from the threat of Inquisitor Delta. Let us leave this place together. With all your friends, of course. Let's go. Oh, don't tell me. You're worried I'm angry because you deceived me? That's nothing to fret about. You were all just scared, right? Stop it. Why? How can you talk like that? We already know what a monster you are. You even shot Chloe like that and manipulated us. That's enough. Think about the current situation we're in. The only thing you need to worry about is getting all your buddies out of here safely, isn't it? You can't get all emotional. You're not alone. You have to do your best for everyone else's sake. This person, all the conviction and effort you've put into this, you can't let it all go to waste. It's for real. This person can't be let out of here. And then we have laughing. Crazy bastard. Delta sits back up. You're the only one I'll never forgive. You kids, get on the ship. Quick. Huh? I'm telling you brats to get out of this place. Just the lot of you. If the scum like this is gonna get on that ship, I'd rather you brats go on your own. And then we have a sigh of disappointment from the Pope, who pulls the gun out again. Get lost. Sorry, but I don't need this performance in my story. At this point, it's irritatingly tedious. This guy's an idiot through and through. Can't you catch the vibe here and just die? And actually, if someone's gonna stand up, I would have preferred... And then the knife knocks the gun out of his hand. And Chloe gets back up as well. And we have Leo break down. I just got it now. From the very beginning, the two of us weren't going to be getting out of here. This is where we die. Before the spider's web is where the final act of the Fool's Banquet unfolds. What a great 3 chapters. I feel like the last 2, probably because they were more action-oriented, were a bit shorter. But wow, chapter 15 was incredible, and the past 2 were really, really good too. I know it's a bit of a shorter video. There's a part of me that almost wants to just finish out the series this video, but I'm actually not going to. I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to do the next video, the finale, as soon as possible. Whether that's next week or the week after, hopefully next week. I'm going to do it as quickly as I can. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these 3 chapters. My first thoughts and reaction to them. I guess subscribe for more Soloist in a Cage, much more on the channel. Even though this is ending very soon, I'm going to be doing tons of other manga. I've got a bunch of webtoon stuff going on. Going to be doing a bunch of anime stuff. But again, if you have any suggestions, anything that you want me to cover, just let me know about it. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I guess I said like, comment, subscribe. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link to it. If you want to help support the channel on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. And if you want to become a channel member, just hit the join button down there. Thank you to people who are already members and patrons, the chosen regulars Etchy Zero and Evan Holly, Cherryton students Elsa the Storyteller and David Langstaff, and Slayer candidate SG. Huge thank you to all of you, and huge thank you to all of you for watching. Yeah, thank you all again, and I'll see you all next time.